astronaut. How wonderful is that?
Knowing that I'm here on planet Earth and then talking to someone that's hundreds of millions of miles away is really life-changing.
Just seeing the joy in the kids' face when you're helping them. There are multiple small moments that you can see that even just for that second or just for that day, they notice that what you're doing with them and what they're doing is special, and you can see that it had an impact. You feel different when you are in programs like this.
Good evening, and welcome to JEP's annual Community Service Awards ceremony. My name is Susan Harris, and I'm the Executive Director of the USC Joint Educational Project. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. First, I want to give a special shout out to Olivia Korish for her wonderful work on that video. Thank you so much for setting the tone for tonight's celebration and for the teaser about our golden anniversary, which is right around the corner. Yes, JEP turns 50 in 2022. And we're hoping to mark this major milestone with several, hopefully in-person gatherings. So please stay tuned for more information about that. Normally, I would be looking out at all of you from under the chandeliers at Town and Gown. These tables would be filled and everyone would be enjoying a nice meal together. Even after a year, it feels a little strange to hold events in this way. But despite the limitations, I'm so glad that we have this opportunity to come together tonight to recognize the tremendous efforts of our students, faculty, and community partners over the last year. Indeed, it feels incredibly important to do so right now. For one, I'm sure I'm not alone in my desire to celebrate the good that is happening in the world. And in this virtual space, there is so much good. The achievements of tonight's award recipients would be remarkable under normal circumstances. But given all they've been able to accomplish during this very challenging year, their achievements are even more impressive. So I'm eager for you to learn more about each of them, and I'm sure that you will be just as inspired by them as I am. A lot of folks have asked me how we've managed this past year, since community service is so place-based and rooted in the neighborhood surrounding USC. When the campus shut down in March and all university operations moved online, we had no choice but to withdraw our students from their service learning assignments. But within literally a few weeks, we were piloting an online tutoring program with nearly 50 tutors from JEP. Over the summer, we served hundreds of families from the neighborhoods surrounding USC's campuses, as well as the children of frontline COVID healthcare providers at USC Keck. Over the course of the last academic year, we launched 3 new online after-school programs, and our JEP students have served as virtual interns with nonprofit partners and through our pre-law project and Trojan Health volunteers. JEP students have Zoomed into LAUSD classrooms to teach science through our STEM education outreach programs. And they've taught mindfulness and yoga through our Peace Project and Little Yoginis program. They've recorded hundreds of educational videos to share with teachers and families online. And more than 650 students signed up to serve as virtual reading or math tutors through JEP and our Readers Plus program. That is remarkable to me. I am so proud of what our students have accomplished in this most difficult year. I'm also proud of the JEP staff, our student and full-time staff, for the creativity and hard work they dedicated to shifting all of our programming online. I'm so thankful for our schools and community partners for providing amazing experiences for our students this year, and to our USC faculty for their flexibility and support. As you'll hear tonight, there is so much to be proud of and grateful for. Speaking of gratitude, there are many friends tuning in tonight who have provided tremendous support to our programs throughout this very challenging year. There are too many to name, in fact, but I did want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who has supported our programs in ways big and small. They all make a difference. Thank you so much for your generosity. We truly could not do what we do without your partnership and financial support. Before we move on to announcing this year's awards, I want to recognize the winners from 2020, many of whom are with us here tonight. Of course, due to COVID, we had to cancel our springtime awards dinner last year, and we didn't have a chance to adequately celebrate our winners. So I'd like to take a few minutes to recognize each one of them now. The winners of the 2020 Grace Ford Salvatore Scholarships were Ariel Lacobe, Michael Lopez, and Diana Balbuena. Jose Gonzalez won the Desiree Benson Award, and Haley Wong won the Barbara Seaver Gardner Award. The Dick Cohn Award went to Rita Barakat, and the JEP Award for Community Engaged Teaching and Research went to Mercedes Fajes Agudo. The Dornsife Award for Exceptional Service went to David Abelson, and Sabrina Barrow was the winner of our Extraordinary Community Service Award. Congratulations to each of you, and thank you so much for your good work. And for those of you tuning in, you can learn more about the award winners from last year and this year by scrolling down the page. And now it is my great pleasure to present the first award of 2021. The JEP Award for Humanitarian Service is an award we created this year to recognize the unique time we are in and to honor the extraordinary efforts of a community partner making a huge difference in this pandemic year. The Ella Fitzgerald Charitable Foundation has been an exceptional partner of JEP since 2014, and the foundation has even longer standing connections with the university. For the last 7 years, the foundation has worked with JEP's Readers Plus program to support our literacy program in local elementary schools. They provide thousands of dollars worth of books and other free resources for families who visit our booth at the annual USC LA Times Festival of Books. In a normal year, the Ella Fitzgerald Charitable Foundation donates upwards of 2,000 books to the children who participate in our programs, which is a substantial contribution that makes a real difference to the families and schools that we serve. Well, in March 2020, when the rest of the world was still in shock, Fran Rossman, the executive director of the foundation, reached out to JEP's associate director, Tina Konechny, to see how they might support families in the emerging health and educational crisis. COVID posed so many challenges, not only in terms of increasing the need for support, but also by creating new logistical hurdles for actually addressing those needs. Fran and her colleagues at the foundation worked tirelessly and persistently to create new, safe procedures to distribute resources. And by the end of October, they had delivered nearly 4,500 books and thousands of dollars worth of school supplies to the children in our family of schools, more than doubling their contributions in a non-pandemic year. The actions of Fran and the Ella Fitzgerald Charitable Foundation were decisive, swift, and mission-driven. Like so many of our award winners tonight, they were not deterred by the difficulties imposed by the pandemic, but in fact were driven to make a difference because of those difficulties. The foundation serves as an example for all of us, and so it is my great honor to recognize them with this award. Thank you, Fran, for leading the efforts of the Ella Fitzgerald Charitable Foundation and for making such a significant difference to the children and families this year. I know Fran has prepared a few remarks, and we would love for her to share them with you. So I'll turn this over to Fran.
Hi, I'm Fran Morris Rossman at the Ella Fitzgerald Charitable Foundation. I'm sitting here on the bench of Ella's very own piano that used to sit in the, I guess you'd call it a recreation room at her Beverly Hills home. The people who played on this piano are amazing to remember. This is the piano that Duke Ellington played on, and Count Basie. Frank Sinatra sat here. Everybody came to Ella's. I've been the executive director at Ella's Foundation since she died back in 1996. And one of the first places we started working was at USC. We are beyond grateful to all of our Trojan friends for everything you do to make LA and the world a better place. So enjoy all these fun items, listen to lots and lots of Ella, and as Ella would say, sing on.
Thank you so much, Fran, and congratulations again. And now I'd like to invite Vince Lizalde to the virtual podium. Vince was a student at USC from 2001 through 2005. And for 2 of those years, he worked at JEP as a program assistant and a program assistant coordinator. Vince will present the Grace Ford Salvatore Scholarships and the Desiree Benson Awards to this year's recipients. It's great to see you, Vince. Thank you so much for returning home to your JEP family to present these awards.
Good evening. My name is Vince Lizalde. Since leaving the JEP house more than 15 years ago, I've been called a lot of different things: consultant, delegate, graduate student, uncle, MBA, remote worker, alum, investment banker. but there have not been many titles that I look back on with as much joy as the title of PA coordinator. I learned so much in those years. I learned about service, I learned about work, I learned about seeding lifelong relationships. And when I think about it, it leaves me so optimistic for all of you. It leaves me so excited for the paths all of you are exploring. I admit that unbridled optimism may seem a little unfounded. So in preparing to speak to you all today, I tried to prove it to myself. I called on some former colleagues and caught up, just like we've done for years. And when I hung up the phone or left the Zoom meeting or ended our text with a thumbs up emoji, I found my optimism to be anchored in granite. To a person, my colleagues who were just like you had seen challenges, but they had also traveled the world, moved all over the country, become teachers and parents, executives and volunteers, entrepreneurs and contributors. That's why I'm optimistic for you, and that's why I'm so thrilled to have the opportunity to be here with you today. I believe that with each opportunity in life, we are given a skill. With each experience, we're given a tool. And when I think back on my time at USC and at JEP in particular, the tool I'm left with is a filter that asks the same constant question: am I doing my best to serve others? I ask that to myself all the time, and I hope the tools you are given beg the same constant question: am I doing my best and am I helping others? So thank you, my USC family, my JEP family, for having me back and always having my back. Your patience indulging me for the past few moments is very much appreciated. Now on to the awards. USC was very fortunate to have Henry and Grace Salvatore as friends, philanthropists, and Henry as a trustee. They gave generously to USC and have 2 named buildings on our campus. In 1992, in memory of Grace, Henry established the Grace Ford Salvatore Community Service Scholarships. These were created to recognize and award students in the Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences for their dedication to service. For the past 27 years, the recipients of these scholarships have been recognized for their community service, as well as their academic excellence and demonstrated student leadership. The winners of this year's Grace Ford Salvatore Community Service Scholarships are Lauren Geek and Tanaya Abshankar. Lauren is a sophomore majoring in biological sciences with a minor in healthcare studies. Her community service has centered largely around helping local youth. She has done this through tutoring elementary age children through the Readers Plus program, developing and implementing hands-on science curriculum as a member of Science Outreach. She has created preschool lessons with an emphasis on reading and English language learning through Jumpstart, and is a first-generation peer mentor to 2 current USC freshmen. Lauren has also been involved with other organizations, including Blackout the Ballot Campaign, Cancer Resource Center of the Desert, is a member of Kappa Delta Chi sorority chapter at USC, and is currently volunteering at the Los Angeles County USC Medical Center. One of her recommenders states, quote, "All the intangibles that lead to success in the workplace are in order with Lauren. There will be no unpleasant surprises, and I'm confident she will fit in and add to any work and volunteer morale." Our second winner, Tanaya, is a junior majoring in creative writing with a minor in marketing and cinematic arts. She is currently a USC Readers Plus program tutor and assistant site coordinator at Vermont Avenue Elementary. In addition, she is currently participating in JEP and teaching 2 Spanish classes as part of Feliz en la Comunidad. On top of that, Tanaya has also contributed to service through tutoring and volunteering in her home country of India, and participated in USC's Friends and Neighbors Day each semester. She has also founded a startup organization named Untethered Script, an organization with an aim of building a community of young writers and creating a platform conducive to collaboration by artists. One of her recommenders said this about Tanaya. Tanaya possesses a mature, cool-headed nature, coupled with an easy willingness to assist and serve in any way possible. From the start, Tanaya has exhibited a sincere dedication to education and an authentic love for working with struggling young learners, striving to help build their confidence in themselves and their academic growth. She leads by example, always reliable, always committed, always giving 100% effort for the goals she has set for herself. Amazing work, Lauren and Tanaya. Congratulations. I also have the great privilege of presenting our next very special award this evening, an award which honors the life of a dedicated and inspired work-study student, Desiree Benson, a member of the USC Readers Plus program who passed away unexpectedly in the year 2000, her senior year. The Desiree Benson Work-Study Grant was established by the USC Financial Aid Office that spring to pay tribute to the contributions to our community and dedication to service demonstrated by this promising young woman, and to recognize students similar to her, work-study students committed to making a difference and eager to use their skills and talents to inspire others. I would now like to introduce you to our 2021 Desiree Benson Award recipient, Ms. Diana Balbuena. Diana, currently a junior majoring in American Studies and Ethnicity with a GPA of 3.95, is a first-generation college student from South Los Angeles. At USC, she has been a part of the Joint Educational Project, First Generation Mentor Program, Splash of USC, and Boyle Heights Museum Research Team. Her most meaningful experience while at USC has been as the Vice President of Recruitment of Splash of SC, which has helped her become skilled in interacting with administrators and students. Reaching out to high school staff and students has taught her relationship building skills and developed her communication abilities. She aspires to become a college counselor and eventually an LAUSD board member. In her application, Diana states, concentrating on both my community service and academic responsibilities has helped me learn to manage my time effectively, and my mental health has also been positively impacted. Community service has made me feel more confident about the work that I do for myself and for others. Her recommender from the Boyle Heights Museum says this about Diana. Diana is a highly empathic, caring individual and an exemplary student. Throughout her years as an undergraduate, she continues to grow, serve, and demonstrate her commitment to the community. Congratulations to Diana, who is highly deserving of this award. And I think next we have Tammy Anderson, one of my lifelong mentors, to present the next awards.
Thank you, Vince, and congratulations again to Tanaya, Lauren, and Diana. As Vince mentioned, next up is our beloved Associate Dean of Experiential and Applied Learning, Tammy Anderson. Tammy served as the director of the Joint Educational Project from 2002 until 2018. And so it is fitting that she will present 2 awards that were named in honor of the 2 JEP directors who preceded her. Barbara Seaver Gardner, who served as JEP's founding director from 1972 until 1980, and Dick Cohn, who was director from 1980 until his retirement in 2002. Thank you, Tammy, and take it away.
Thank you for the warm introduction. Vince, so nice to see you. It is my honor to present the Barbara Seaver Gardner Award, which recognizes a graduating student who has made an extraordinary contribution to JEP. Barbara was a person of action. When she witnessed the issues between the university and the local community, she responded by convening local principals and university faculty and created JEP as a bridge between the two, offering opportunities for both to work together and learn with and from each other. When the program outgrew its first home in Bruce Hall, a very small building on 34th Street, down by the parking structure, she picked up the phone and called then President John Hubbard and asked to move JEP into the old Victorian house that the music school was no longer using when they moved to their new buildings. Having gotten a less than positive response, she threatened to pitch a tent in front of Doheny Library. Very soon after, the old Victorian house became our cherished JEP house. I knew and worked with Barbara for over 20 years. She was my boss, my mentor, and my friend. I know she would be overjoyed to meet this year's recipient of the Barbara Seaver Gardner Award, Daniela Cruz. Daniela is a graduate student in public health and has spent the last 4 years participating in and contributing to JEP. She was a tutor with the Readers Plus program, taught human anatomy and sociology at Manual Arts High School through a JEP service learning assignment, was a science teaching assistant through the Wonder Kids program, and has spent the last 2 years as Readers Plus site coordinator, serving 32nd Street School. In addition, Daniela has been a JEP ambassador, representing JEP at Dornsife Explore SC events, work study fairs, orientation open houses, and at the LA Times Festival of Books hosted on our USC campus. Her supervisor, Tina Konechny, says the following about Daniela. She came into the role of coordinator the fall of her junior year and immediately owned the position. In no time, she was one of our strongest coordinators. By her second year, she had built a dedicated cadre of readers tutors, had developed effective training materials for her staff meetings, and gained the support and respect from the elementary school administration. Basically, Daniela is a leader, innovator, the ultimate team player, and a fearless advocate for those most vulnerable in our society. These characteristics Daniela certainly shares with Barbara. Daniela, thank you for your service and contributions to JEP, its community, and campus partners. And congratulations on being selected as this year's recipient of the Barbara Seaver Gardner Award. It is my privilege to announce the Dick Cohn Award for Graduate Engaged Scholarship. This award is named in honor of Richard Dick Cohn, the beloved former director of JEP from 1980 to 2002, and a pioneer in the field of service learning and community engagement. The Cohn Award is meant to honor the efforts of graduate students who bring advanced awareness and skills to address specific needs in the community. The award takes on a special meaning this year as we lost Dick on April 3rd of 2020. Dick was a cherished friend, colleague, and mentor, driven by a deep commitment to social justice and education. Dick effectively pushed universities to reconsider the role they play in their communities, and he was instrumental in bringing national recognition to USC's K-12 partnerships. This year's recipient of the Cohn Award is Divana Olivas. Divana is exactly the type of person the Cohn Award is meant to recognize. As the daughter of working-class Mexican immigrants who grew up in a food desert in rural New Mexico, Divana's research on food systems, food policy, and food activism is directly tied to the present-day injustices of food inequities in communities of color. Currently a PhD candidate in American Studies and Ethnicity at USC, Divana uses the tools of her field to advance equity, using food as a lens through which to view and challenge injustice. Divana believes that interdisciplinary scholars can and should be working alongside policymakers to craft equitable, ethical, and resilient solutions to the urgent problems facing our world. In this sense, Divana defines the engaged scholar, unbound by the constraints of academia. Underlying her professional approach is her commitment to building knowledge alongside community members and exposing how power works so as to allow communities to use it effectively. Congratulations to this year's recipient of the Richard Cohn Award for Graduate Engaged Scholarship, Divana Olivas. This award is both a validation of your contributions to the community and a call to the rest of us to use our knowledge to empower others, and ultimately shape a more equitable future together.
Thank you so much, Tammy, and congratulations, Daniela and Tivana. And now it is my distinct pleasure to welcome the Dean of the USC Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences, Amber Miller. I recall the first time I met Dean Miller. It was in 2016, and just a few weeks after she had arrived at USC. She had made it a priority to come to the JEP House and to meet with our staff. She asked thoughtful questions about our work and made it clear that she understood and valued the role that community engagement can play for students, faculty, and community partners. So I'm thrilled that she's here tonight to present the JEP Award for Community Engaged Teaching and Research, as well as the Dornsife Award for Exceptional Service. Thank you so much, Dean Miller.
Thank you for joining us. I'd like to start by extending my gratitude to the Joint Educational Project. It's inspiring to see so many of our students, faculty, and staff working together with members of our local community to make Los Angeles a better place for all of us. It is my pleasure to begin by presenting the award for Community Engaged Teaching and Research. One of our top priorities at Dornsife has been to expand and strengthen connections between research universities and our communities. This is something that today's honoree, Professor of Psychology, Frank Manis, has been doing for decades. Through JEP, Professor Manis makes service learning an integral piece of his undergraduate psychology curriculum. His Children's Learning and Cognitive Development course includes an 8-week assignment in which our USC students go into local elementary schools to tutor developmental readers. They use their experience and knowledge they gain in the classroom to analyze the child's learning process and diagnose the child's unique learning needs. But Professor Manis doesn't just send his students out to work in the local schools. He also served as a tutor himself, working alongside his students to make sure that the program is the best it can be, both for his 32nd Street School readers and for his USC psychology students. Thank you, Professor Manis, and congratulations on receiving the 2021 Award for Community Engaged Teaching and Research. Next, it is my honor to present the USC Dornsife Award for Exceptional Service. Since 2014, this award has been given to a supporter, alum, or advocate of the JEP program that exemplifies the spirit of service. This year, JEP is proud to recognize the USC Office of Financial Aid. Our university would not be the dynamic and diverse intellectual environment that it is today without the dedicated team in financial aid that helps ensure that the most talented students from every background can afford a USC education. They have also been one of the most active partners and advocates of JEP for decades. Most notably, since 1997, they've committed to enhancing work-study opportunities that fall under the America Reads, America Counts initiatives. The office goes above and beyond to make sure that work-study students are able to find exciting and rewarding job opportunities related to their interests and their courses of study. Throughout a typical academic year, they help JEP place more than 100 tutors in local schools. Financial aid also supports JEP's Readers Plus graduate literacy and math directors, and it sponsors the Desiree Benson Work Study Grant Award, which was presented earlier in this program. On behalf of USC Dornsife, I'd like to thank Tom McWhorter and the entire team in financial aid for not just helping our students take full advantage of their USC experience, but for empowering them to pay it forward into our communities. Once again, congratulations to all of today's honorees, and thank you to everyone who continues to make JEP our university's signature service learning initiative.
Good evening, fellow Trojans, staff, faculty, students, and community members. It is my honor to accept this award on behalf of the entire financial aid team. This award is particularly meaningful as it recognizes the spirit of service embodied in the work that all of us do. In 1996, the America Reads Challenge began and a partnership was born. Using federal work-study funds to support tutoring by university students, the Financial Aid Office partnered with JEP to fund student tutors in our local schools. This program helps the university satisfy the requirement to use a certain amount of work-study funding in community service activities. I'm both amazed and encouraged by all that JEP has been able to accomplish despite the pandemic and the challenges of providing service to students remotely. I know firsthand the benefits of JEP to our students, as my niece was a reader in 2002 and 3 while at Dornsife. I look forward to our continuing collaboration to serve students and continuing to see the impact of our efforts in the lives of so many children in our communities. So once again, on behalf of financial aid and myself, thank you and fight on.
Thank you, Dean Miller. Congratulations to Frank Manis and Tom McWhorter and his entire team at USC Financial Aid. Thank you for all you do for our students. And now it is my great honor and privilege to welcome USC's 12th president, Carol Folt. Dr. Folt came to USC in 2019 and has done so much good in her short time here. Her focus on university culture, on diversity and equity issues, on sustainability, and on making higher education more accessible to lower income students are all welcome developments. Dr. Folt has many fans at the JEP House, and we are so very happy that she could take part in tonight's ceremony. She has a genuine affection for students, and so it is a wonderful tribute for her to be here to offer the highest student recognition, the Extraordinary Community Service Award. Thank you, Dr. Folt.
Greetings, everyone. It is such a joy to be here. This special event honors those who open their hearts, extend their help, and make a difference in lives. I'd like to thank everyone at USC's Joint Educational Project who are helping those around them live fuller, happier lives. And my personal congratulations to all of tonight's winners. You inspire us all. It's my privilege tonight to present the Extraordinary Community Service Award. What I love about this award is that it goes to a student, and it's going to a student tonight who has shown remarkable leadership in giving back to our communities. It was established in 1981 by Grace Ford Salvatore, who was a USC Life Trustee. This year, we're honoring Cecilia Nguyen, a pre-med senior at Dornsife. Cecilia is first-generation Vietnamese American from San Jose, California. She's a psychology major and a natural science minor, and a provost research fellow in pharmacy's Department of Regulatory and Quality Sciences. When she was asked what she gained from her community service, she said, "A sense of belonging and purpose." She has used her time at USC to find new ways to help others and to jump in whenever and wherever she could. Let me just share a few examples. Cecilia scootered more than 2.5 miles from Normandy Recreation Center to coach girls basketball, and she led her team to an undefeated season. And now, as president of USC's Coaching Corps, she's recruiting additional coaches and helping other sites establish similar programs. She volunteers through USC's mobile clinic and brings care packages to individuals facing homelessness, and then she stays on and plays games and talks and gets to know them. Cecilia also volunteers as a Fisher Fellow, and she co-led a service project that raised more than $1,500 for a Trojan Center and more than $1,300 for Schools on Wheels. Throughout her time at USC, Cecilia has been an inspiring tutor and an inspiring mentor. She curated individual lesson plans for 2 third graders, Emmy and Ashley. And now, as central coordinator at Readers Plus, she's helping train tutors, track applications, and even designs the newsletters. I love one story I came across about her experiences as a tutor because it really highlights her leadership. Over the summer, Cecilia was tutoring Molly, a 4th grader from Mexico. When Cecilia spoke to Molly's parents, her mother, she became very sensitive to the language challenges that she was facing. And she recalled what it was like for herself as an ESL learner and for her own Vietnamese speaking parents. And so she came up with a solution. For a Back to Readers event, she proposed an additional Spanish-speaking Zoom, one that would make parents and family members feel welcome. Here, Cecilia drew on her own experiences, her own history, and figured out how to make a positive change. She showed this same kind of leadership with other students whom she mentored. During the pandemic, she tutored a high schooler named Ashley through TutorBird, and she continued to mentor Ashley even after the program ended. Cecilia helped her apply for college, and now Ashley has acceptances at 2 schools, both Cal State LA and Cal State Fullerton. So congratulations to Ashley. Ashley's life is opening up before her, and I know that it has been a treasure for Cecilia to be a part of that. I want to close with Cecilia's own words. Often USC has this elitist grand allure of elitism and privilege, she said. As a low-income first-generation student with immigrant parents, I sought to give back to the local South Central community as I immediately recognized it as my own, she said. It's her ability to truly connect with her community and to partner with her neighbors that sets Cecilia apart. Cecilia Nguyen is a perfect example of the spirit we all see at JEP, and it is a pleasure and a privilege to present her with the Extraordinary Community Service Award. Congratulations, Cecilia, and fight on.
Years ago, at this very spot, was when I turned in my application to be a USC JP Readers Plus tutor. 4 years later, here I am now behind a screen, having been a tutor to Emmy and Ashley at MAC for a year, Central Coordinator for 3 years, and memories and friendships to last for a lifetime. This little funky house, cookie stairs and all, became an extension of my home. It's hard to believe that I'll be leaving this house. When I'm asked what I'll miss most about Readers Plus, it's everything, but especially the people. Tina has made this one of the most welcoming and warmest places on campus, a true home away from home. But also, to work with the most amazing people who care just as much about education equity and social justice as you do really makes the difference. We are always sharing about different resources, current events, and make sure to support and uplift one another, especially during difficult times, and to always check in. We are never dreading work because we're working with the kind of people who surprise you on your birthday, even over Zoom, sending TikToks and YouTube videos for serotonin boosts. And celebrate your achievements with pride, but also cry when you graduate. It's going to be hard to say goodbye. So thank you. To all the wonderful tutors who were also beat by 5th graders at basketball with me, to the coordinators who would swing by after 5 and talk about ADM and how much we don't like math with, to my central staff team for being the highlight of my days always, to the JP staff for welcoming me into this funky house to begin with, especially during our lunch breaks in the kitchen, and to my friends and family who have supported me, but of course the heart of it all, the children, and the community for allowing me to crash into their home and be a part of it. It's an absolute honor to accept the JP's Extraordinary Service Award and to have learned and served from South Central LA. So this isn't farewell, but a promise to carry y'all with me through my journey that I know no matter what I plan to do, delivering babies in the OR or shooting hoops with kids in Spain as we teach English, that my service and memories and experiences at JP will surely shine bright through my sleeves. So fight on.
Wow, I love that so much. Thank you, Dr. Foltz. And thank you, Cecilia, for making JEP and Readers Plus your home away from home for these last 4 years. You have played a huge part in making it such a special place to work. I know you will go on to do great things, and I hope that your experiences here will always hold a special place in your heart. Thank you. And with that, we've come to the end of a unique but equally wonderful JEP Community Service Awards ceremony. I'd like to close out the evening with the words of Ella Fitzgerald, who, in addition to sharing her beautiful singing voice with the world, offered the following words of advice. Don't give up trying to do what you really want to do. Where there is love and inspiration, I don't think you can go wrong. In a year when giving up was an understandable response and the only option for some, I'm again reminded of just how fortunate we are to be here together tonight. I'm grateful to be surrounded by students and colleagues who didn't give up and who let love and inspiration for service, for community, and for one another to serve as guideposts for action this year. Your accomplishments and dedication are truly inspiring to me. So congratulations to all our award winners from 2020 and 2021, and sincere thanks for your service. And thank you so much for everyone who joined us tonight. Please feel free to hang out on the MobileCause site. You can learn more about each of the winners and find a link to our website to keep up to date with JEP and hear about our plans for the 50th anniversary. So please keep in touch, stay safe, and serve on. Good night.
Good night, my love. The tired old moon is descending. Good night, my love. My moment